Let's deal briefly, because we're nearly on post time, with Louse Talk.
Yeah, Louse Talk won a point, pulled up on his debut in a point-to-point, then he left that form way behind to win next time out. The form doesn't look anything flash, and he looks a chaser in the making, really. One for further down the line, I think. Rio Quinto, definitely the standard setter, there's no doubt about that. Fergus Gregory takes off the 7 as well. I suspect that dropping back down to 2.5, 2 mile 5, might be a positive for Rio Quinto.
Starter Bobman on top of the rostrum, holds the flag aloft. John Bishop marshalling from the ground, marshalling them from the commentary box. It's now good afternoon to David Fitzgerald.
Afternoon, Stuart Martin, everybody. And they're off. The opening race, the visit to the all-new RacingUK.com Novices Hurdle. And on going soft, heavy in places on the hurdle course. Louse Talk leads to the first of 11 flights, with Sartine Sun in second place. They're going off very steadily, just lobbing along to the first. The check jacket Drover's Lane on the outside of Victarion. On that one's in of the favourite Rio Quinto in a sheepskin noseband. 2 runners for Diana Waitley as they get over the first. And the back 2 are Royal Tara, big handsome horse, and in last position is Zebby Boy, as the field continue to make their way at a slow pace on to flight number 2. Louse Talk, the yellow jacket, Paul O'Brien, measures that one well, and all 7 of them getting from one side to the other. To the outside, as Louse Talk goes on by 2.5 lengths, is Drover's Lane. In second position on the inner is Sartine Sun. In between those two, Victarion, with Fergus Gregory and Rio Quinto in 5th place. Royal Tara is in 6th, and Zebby Boy is 7th and last. Getting over the 3rd, the final one in the back straight. All getting over it okay. Perhaps the least fluent jump maybe Royal Tara, if you wanted to be picky, but they're now on the run towards home for the first time, having jumped their first 3. And it's Louse Talk, a horse who made all when he won his Irish point at Tralee in Ireland at the end of May. And here he is making his debut under rules for Charlie Longsdon. In second position, Drover's Lane on the outside, another point-to-point winner. Adam Wedge on board, and that one's inner is Victarion, horse who made the frame in all 3 of his bumpers. Sartine Sun, the hooped cap on the inside, Jamie Bargery, with the Fakenham winner back in December. Rio Quinto in a very close 5th, a track that he's since been back to and come home 2nd. In the back pair, Royal Tara and Zebby Boy. Very steady pace. Louse Talk's jumping really well in front, and now runs in between these 2 hurdles. The next one will be the last in a further circuit, with Louse Talk, ears going back and forth, taking in everything that's around him. Comes into this. Louse Talk jumps it well to Victarion in 2nd, a little bit out to the left, Zebby Boy in last place. The 7 runners separated by 6 lengths or so, and it is Louse Talk that leads by 1.5 lengths to Drover's Lane in 2nd, Victarion, Thomas Cheeseman 3rd, as they pass the winning post with a circuit to go. Sartine Sun races in 4th, with Rio Quinto still in 5th place. The order has scarcely changed, with Royal Tara, the Hunter Chase winner in Ireland, Tipperary last spring. Now with Venetia Williams racing in 6th, and Zebby Boy and Harry Skelton still in last place. There's one flight of hurdles coming up before they take the incline and head towards the far side once more. And probably about 50, 75 yards away from the next obstacle now, with Louse Talk still in the lead. Coming into this, Louse Talk over it safely to Drover's Lane in 2nd. They're a bit more stretched now, maybe 8 or 9 lengths front to back. Louse Talk leading to Drover's Lane. In 3rd position is Victarion. They're all going okay within themselves. Rio Quinto has now come up on the outside of Sartine Sun and just about gone into 4th place, probably 4 lengths off the lead. Royal Tara, Aidan Coleman still in 6th, and Zebby Boy continues to be last. So they disappear from view from the stands for the time being, and about to race downhill towards where they started on the far side, and nothing has yet headed at Louse Talk. Louse Talk leading to Drover's Lane, representing Rebecca Curtis in 2nd, with Victarion following their every move in 3rd, tracked by the horse in the same ownership, Ollie Murphy's Rio Quinto. Sartine Sun on that one's inner, no move yet from Royal Tara or Zebby Boy. Continues in last place as Drover's Lane just gets onto the girth of the one in front, Louse Talk. As they'll be emerging from behind the trees any second now and running towards their next flight. Flight number 7. 5 more to take in total in the visit to the all-new RacingUK.com Novices Hurdle. It's still Louse Talk. He certainly had in his own way, with Drovers Lane in second position. In third is Victorian, just chased along on landing as Rio Quinto motors along on his outside. Sartine Sun, Royal Tara, and lastly Zebby Boy. Here's the middle one in the back. Loose Talk puts himself right, gets in a little closer to that. Drovers Lane almost level. Rio Quinto looking to come between them now, with Victorian back in fourth place. These have opened up from Royal Tara. They've got about 5 or 6 lengths clear of that one. Sartine Sun and Zebby Boy still hasn't got out of last. Here's the third last flight. Loose Talk trying to hold on to the lead. Still going okay. Drovers Lane in second. Rio Quinto and Victorian, the Waitley pair, in behind third and fourth. Victorian is just niggled along. They've come clear of Royal Tara, who's probably about 10 lengths behind, ahead of Sartine Sun, and Zebby Boy doesn't look like getting out of last. Turning for home, and the long-time leader Louse Talk has gone on another stride there for Paul O'Brien. Is 2.5 lengths clear. They're all pushing in behind. Victorian is staying on. Rio Quinto is back to fourth now and is under more pressure, coming stand side. The check jacket Drovers Lane looking to raise another effort. Rio Quinto picking up ground now. Louse Talk. Rio Quinto is within about 1.5 lengths on landing. He's going to have to work hard to get past Louse Talk. Rio Quinto trying to challenge the Longsdon horse. They're clear of Victorian. Louse Talk, though, is holding him at the moment. 2 lengths clear. Here's the last. Louse Talk flicks through it. Not a great landing from Rio Quinto. Still got half a chance. He has to switch, but it's Louse Talk who's set a slow pace and makes just about every yard to win for Charlie Longsdon and Paul O'Brien. Comes clear of Rio Quinto. Sartine Sun has passed plenty to get into third place on the flat, finished with a bit left. Victorian and Drovers Lane.
First strike at Warwick this afternoon to Charlie Longsdon and Paul O'Brien, with the hurdling debutant Louse Talk, an 8-to-1 winner, a £45,000 purchase from the Irish point field. He's been able to set his own fractions here, but he has found plenty under pressure despite a ragged leap at the last, and it's a perfect start to what could be a busy day for Paul O'Brien, because he's dashing off to Uttoxeter, where he's set to ride in the 4:15 later on this afternoon. They went very steady until probably about 10 furlongs out, just a halfway, Martin?
No question the winners had the run of the race and benefited from that, but I think to focus on that would take away from his potential overall, because he is very strong at the line as well, isn't he? So it's not as if he's nipped away, got an advantage and got first run. He's untidy at the last scrappy leap there, and then Paul O'Brien has to gather him up. But you can see in the final 25 yards or so, he really runs on very, very strongly, and that is an indication clearly the horse is still full of running. He's got plenty of energy left, and like I say, I think to focus on the fact that he got that easy lead would be an injustice to the horse. It's a promising start to his career. Good run under a penalty again from Rio Quinto, who's holding his form very well, isn't he? He was a wide margin winner the day that he won, and although he's not followed that up as yet, he's run good races in defeat on both starts since.
Opening race at Warwick going the way of Louse Talk, 8-to-1 for Charlie Longsdon, and win number 10 for the season for Paul O'Brien. Rio Quinto, 6-5 on favourite, was second. All 7 ran in the opener at Warwick.